So it looks like we're live, everyone. Hi. I guess we're going to go ahead and get started. Yes, we are.
Okay.
Zelda, you want to take it away?
Yeah, let's do it. Sorry, I don't know why I double checked that we were live. Hello, everybody in TXRD world. We are going to start with a couple of intros. So if all of our friends who are here today could tell us their full derby name, their pronouns, the team they skate for, the positions they typically play, and how long they have been in the league, and any other derby leagues they've played for. Let's start with Max.
Hi, I'm Mad Mexican. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. I'm Mad Mexican, and my pronouns are she, her. I skate for the Rhinestones. I typically play jammer. However, I've been trying to do a lot more blocking this season, or what was this season. And this is my sixth season in the league, and I have only ever played for TXRD.
Awesome. Brouhaha, what about you?
So my derby name is Brouhaha. I go by she, her, hers. I am co-captain for the Hellcats. Typically, this past season, I've been doing a lot of pivoting and blocking. Every once in a while, I have been known to jam, though. I've been in the league for about 2 years now, and this is the only league I've ever played for.
Beastie, you're up.
Alrighty. Howdy, y'all. I'm Feast Infection. Pronouns are she, her, hers. I am a hired gun. If you don't know what that means, it means I'm basically an alternate. I've been in the league for about the whole 6 months at this point. So I'm still pretty fresh, which also means I'm still trying to figure out the positions I typically like to play. I love the strategy and teamwork of being in the pack and blocking, but also when I get into that jammer mindset, there's no feeling like breaking through a pack as a jammer. So still figuring that out. And it's my first time playing roller derby. So TXRD is my first league. I've only ever played bank track before, so it's been pretty cool.
Awesome. Okay, and then we do not have Cola and Slay here yet, correct? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a yes. What?
No, it's me, you, Max, and Beast right now.
Awesome. I can't.
Oh, and Brawl Rat. Brawl Rat's here.
Oh, are they on the screen?
Yeah.
This is going great. We're killing it. Okay, Brawl Rat. Brett, can we hear you yet? Do you know? Looks like a no. Cool. So, still so pretty. So let's go ahead and jump into some questions. First question for, I guess, anybody that wants to answer. How did you choose your derby name by Anonymous?
I can go first because this was a pretty recent experience for me.
Yeah.
Like, funny enough, my derby name, Beast Infection, just to remind you, fits my personality pretty well. It's feminine. It's kind of gross. It makes people laugh. I always like seeing people's reactions when they hear it for the first time. And it makes boomers uncomfortable. So, you know, I like that. And I think that fits me pretty well. So, yeah, people call me Beastie. I think that's kind of cute, but you know, I guess when I'm in trouble, I'm Beast Infection.
I love it. Brouhaha and Max, what about y'all?
So for me, it started out as a combination of things. It kind of goes all the way back to Roller Rookies. When I was in one of the many Roller Rookies class that I was in, we just had a lot of really bad luck, and so um, during that time, I was making a lot of jokes about how when something bad would happen, I would bring eggs to get all the bad spirits, and it just kind of stuck, this whole witch type thing, which bruja in Spanish is witch, and so it's just a play on the word brujaha, but you know, with the J-A, so you know, it's a little bit Spanish. Um, and yeah, and then my number is eggs because of the whole joke with, you know, using the eggs to banish the spirits.
Max?
Sorry. Mine in high school, my friends used to tell me that I was Mexican to the max, and they would call me Mexican. And when it came time to choose my derby name, I couldn't really think of anything, and I didn't want it to be anything with Mexican. I really wanted to come up with something else, but eventually I just gave in. And like, I love the original Mad Max movies. The new one's awesome too, but my name is based off of the old ones. A combination of those two things.
My name is a reference to Zelda Fitzgerald. If you don't know, she is the wife of F. Scott Fitzgerald, was the wife of F. Scott Fitzgerald. They're both dead now. But she was like kind of like the it girl, the flapper girl. My favorite Zelda Fitzgerald story is that she threw herself down a flight of stairs at a party because she wasn't getting enough attention. And I feel like that just really spoke to me. So yeah, that's where my derby namesake came from. Okay, what are the biggest differences between banked and flat track from Hufflepuff with Houston Roller Derby?
We get to go faster.
I mean, I think there's a few differences. I think it depends on if we're talking TXRD specific versus just bank track in general. I think the biggest difference is just physics. You can use physics to your advantage a lot more on the bank track. Or I guess not that you can use it to your advantage, but the physics on the bank track is just a lot different than the physics of flat track.
Yeah, if you're not aware, we're not allowed to stop. We can't stop play at all, which is pretty different from flat. And we can also use our elbows.
I would say I feel like TXRD bank track is very different than like WIFTA flat track. And I feel like RDCL bank track, because I did travel team for a little while. I think y'all did too. It's I feel like RDCL bank track is kind of a merging of flat track and our bank track, because in RDCL, like, you can't use elbows. There's not as much like fighting and yelling and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I would say physics are a big difference. I know I've talked to flat track people who are always like, oh, it seems so scary to, like, you don't want to fall off the side of the track and stuff, which I get, but I'm afraid of skating on the flat, because that time we had to practice on the flat, it's like concrete. I don't know if you guys experience this, but I was like, I don't want to fall on concrete. Like, our track has give, you know, you kind of like bounce and stuff. Maybe that was just me.
Yeah, like doing just a little bit of, I used to do like Bat City and stuff for a little bit whenever I was first getting started, so I never actually like bouted flat track. But yeah, no, it's just, I feel like there's a lot more, it's a lot more slower, and since they're able to skate the opposite direction, I feel like the strategy is very different. Like, I went to a jammer workshop one time, and they were doing these starts where there were like people in all four corners, and then like the whistle blows, and like some of them were shooting backwards, others were going forward, and it was a very different dynamic. I felt like, I mean, there's not even the option for doing those sort of techniques in banked track, even if you're like skating RDCL, which is another. I also am on our travel team, and yeah, it's like, I feel like they're a lot stricter. It's probably as bad to say, they're a lot stricter about the rules. Like, they get very angry. Okay, not angry, but yeah, like, I feel like it's just a much stricter rule set.
Yeah. I would say also the slow thing, just the physics of the track make us go a lot faster. But also, yeah, with flat track being able to move backwards, and their pack definition rules are a little different than ours, so they can't do any running or anything like that. So it's a lot slower of a game. And also the 2-minute jam versus the 1-minute jam, I feel like it's a pretty big difference as well.
That's a big difference.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Like, damn.
That's some endurance.
Yeah, no, mad props to any flat track jammers. I cannot even imagine.
Also,
okay, cool.
like, I feel like they, in flat track, they also end up, like, dedicating themselves to positions. Like, there's dedicated blockers and there's dedicated jammers. Which, I don't know, like, that feels weird to me.
Sure. Hey, Rawrat, since you're here, do you want to go ahead and intro yourself since you missed him earlier?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I guess I was still muted. I'm Brawlrat. My pronouns are they, them, or she, her. I have been in the league for probably about a year and a half at this point. I've been on the Hellcats, I think the end of oh no, it was mid-season draft last year. Wow. So I guess almost a year that I've been a Hellcat now, getting on there. I haven't skated with any other leagues, but I have really enjoyed kind of the recreational, I guess, options that there are. Like, I mentioned Bat City in regards to like flat track, and then bank track. Even though I'm in the league, I still love Rec League. Like, I go to Rec League religiously, and it will always be near and dear to my heart. So I guess that probably doesn't count as another league, but I don't know, kind of. It's got the word league in the name, right? That counts for something.
Cool. So let's go ahead and move on to our next question, because we still have a couple more coming in, and then I think our next friends are joining at 7:25. So I want to make sure we get through everything. What is your bout day ritual?
Trying to be chill as possible. I don't know that I really have like a ritual. More like, I wake up in the morning and then I maybe try to eat some tacos if I have an appetite. And then around noonish, I try and like eat pokey. I really like pokey. I think Scarlet Harlot also eats pokey on game day, which solidarity friend, because it's a very good bout day meal. Yeah, I try to eat some poke and then basically start getting just about ready at noon to be at the Palmer Event Center by 4:30 or 5 to get ready for warm-ups. And that includes about, makeup is maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then hair, depending on what I'm doing, usually about an hour. Maybe 10 minutes into warm up, my hair has already lost its entire shape, and I don't know why I spend time on it still. Yeah, and then it's time to get ready for the game. Just go through strategy and get out there and do our best.
So I've only been in a grand total of one bout. And during that bout, actually earlier on that day, I co-hosted a baby shower. So went straight from throwing a party for shout out to Bethany. Congratulations on your new baby. She just had her last week. But would not recommend doing that as your bout day ritual. I was pretty exhausted, but it was fun because the whole baby shower crew got to come to the bout and cheer me on, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, I would definitely recommend probably trying to do something a little bit more chill prior to bout day. Eat a good meal, put some makeup on, make yourself feel pretty and confident, and go out there and kick some ass.
Yeah, I do. Oh, go ahead.
What's that?
Sorry. Yeah, you go ahead.
I'm pretty much the same as Brouhaha. I just try to forget that I'm playing a game for most of the day until probably about 2:00, and then I start thinking about it, and I'll take a shower, and I just drink a whole lot of water, maybe watch a movie, and that's about it. I don't really have a ritual.
I wish I had a ritual. So I do all of the live streaming, a lot of the media stuff. So even if I'm skating in a bout, I'm still stuck building everything out and tearing everything down. So one of these days, I'll bust out some bout makeup or something. But honestly, I end up putting way too much time into making the live stream all fancy and nice, and then just I've been doing media stuff, so it's live stream media, just so much building and then tearing down afterwards. It's real bad because I usually forget to eat too. Somebody made me promise to include eating in a bout day ritual, and I have not decided on what that food is yet, but I have promised. It's actually Astrid from Rockin' City. I promised her. So yeah, that's a fun one there.
Awesome. Okay, and then one more. Answer it very, very quickly because we are about to have our new friends come in 2 minutes. What is your favorite activity from the penalty wheel spin? And that is from Instagram user AC112me.
I like the relay race.
Okay, Brouhaha, go first.
Unpopular opinion, tug of war. I fucking love doing tug of war. Oops, my bad. But yeah, it is great. I think it's a really fun, aggressive, thing to do that's not the two-lap duel or the pillow fight. I feel like those are definitely fan favorites and they're fun to do, but there's something very rewarding about winning a tug of war because it makes you feel like, ooh, yeah, I'm real strong right now.
All right, Max.
I want to win a tug of war. That's never happened to me before. I think my favorite one to watch, because it's different, watching and doing them. I really like watching people do the long jump, because always the people who do the long jump, when Flocka does a long jump, I think that's the best thing to watch ever. I watched her do one when I was doing stats for the last game, and it was amazing. I think she did. And then best penalty to do, I guess probably the relay race or the push cart. I enjoy those also.
Those are fun. Beastie, what's yours?
I agree with Max about the relay race. That one's my favorite one to watch and to do. There's just a a sense of athleticism and like teamwork and collaboration that needs to happen when that happens. So it's like fun to watch, and like I like to go fast, so it's like really fun to just like, you know, go balls to the wall and not have to worry about somebody knocking you over around the track. It's pretty cool.
That's super fun. Okay, well, we are out of time. So say goodbye to Brouhaha, Max, Beast Infection, and Rat for a little while. We will see them again soon. While we wait for Cola, Cannabis, and Slay to jump in, I want to tell all of you at home about the GoFundMe. We have a GoFundMe right now. It is to help offset the costs, because obviously we're not bouting right now. We're not able to bring in that income, but of course we still have, you know, a good amount of overhead. So if you are so inclined, if you love us, if you want to see us still able to do great things once this is all over, please, please, please consider donating to our GoFundMe. If you go to GoFundMe and search for Texas Roller Derby or TXRD, you should be able to find us. Yeah, we love you guys. Bye. Do we have our new friends? Throw a temper tantrum, I'm super down for. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit closer to this screen so I can see who we have here. With Nicola virus.
I just got sound, so I didn't hear anything that was said.
That sounds right. Okay, cool.
Can you guys?
I can hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So, what we are going to do is do some intros really quick. You are going to tell us your full derby name, your pronouns, the team you skate for, the positions you typically play, how long you have been in the league, and what other derby leagues you have played for. So let's start with Nicola virus.
Can y'all hear me okay? Can y'all hear me okay? Can you?
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right. I'm Nicola Virus. I skate for the Rhinestones. Pronouns are she, her, hers, and this is my 5th season in the league. I got started doing flat track in Houston for like 3 months before I moved back to Austin, so I was never like really in the league. So I've skated with TXRD pretty much my full career.
Dope. Slay.
Hi, I'm Slayana Mormont. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I skate for the Rhinestone Cowgirls as well. And I've been in the league for about close to 3 years, I think. So yeah, that's it. Hello.
Awesome. And Cannabis.
Hi, I'm Cannabis. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a hired gun, so I'm not on a team yet. The positions I usually play, I feel like I'm a more effective blocker than a jammer, but I would like to work on jamming better. I don't know. But let's see. I've been in the league. I think I tried out last March, and I made it through all 3 months. So I guess a little over a year, maybe. Yeah, a little over a year. And I haven't done roller derby before, so I just threw myself in here, and yeah, best thing I've done.
Okay. So our first question: what do you do when you are not your derby persona? Any hobbies, jobs, etc. That is from Anonymous.
I guess I'll go first. I'm what they call an escalation manager at a company that does online banking for a bunch of financial institutions. During the day, it's very demanding, takes up a lot of my time. So Derby has become my outlet. It's been wonderful. And then outside of work and Derby, I do have a family, my husband, and 3 daughters. And then I love to read anything medieval history or medieval fiction. That's what typically takes up my time outside of Derby.
Awesome. Cola, what about you?
Outside of Derby, I am a civil engineer and a PE and just stepped into being a project manager. And it's okay. I guess hobbies include I just like to exercise and stay active, like however I can do that. I do kind of like yoga. I like rock climbing, walking my puppy who's a year old and I'm obsessed with him. Yeah, and then behind me, you can see a 2,000-piece puzzle. I kind of like to do anything that keeps my mind and my hands occupied. Otherwise, I get pretty restless.
I feel that. Cannabis, what about you?
Right now I just started a job at Dollar General, so I'm like a cashier there. That's been pretty cool. What I do at home, I recently started taking care of plants, so I have a couple plants. And the quantity has grown like very quickly because it's so cool, like seeing them sprouties. Yeah, I just go down every morning now and like check on them to see if they're doing okay. But I play the ukulele. I haven't really been doing much. I've been cooking a little bit more in my house, trying different recipes since I became vegetarian. Yeah, I don't know. I watch a lot of Netflix movies, listen to music, and just relax and smoke.
Sweet. Awesome. Okay. Next question. What is your favorite skill or hardest skill? And that is from Instagram user Magsty7.
Honestly, one of my favorite skills is single knee falls. Like, it's just one of my favorite things to practice because I like leaving practice feeling like I got a good workout, and so doing them to like a song or every like 3 seconds or whatever for a certain amount of time just like super gets my heart rate up. And I can see like a direct impact doing that skill over and over in practice and like how it translates to like how fast I get up when I fall during the game.
I feel like single knee falls took me the longest to learn, weirdly. Like, I feel like that's one of those basic skills, but for some reason, single knee falls really got me when I was, like, learning to skate. Slay, what's yours?
I know this is going to be crazy. I'm not really good at on my right side, but my left side, I love plows. So I plant my right leg and I love that. I love plows on the whistle. I love doing it and turnaround stops, toe stops, and then backward bracing. I find myself in those positions very often. So I'm very I'm comfortable with that. But my right my right leg plow is not the best, but yeah, working on it. But yeah, those are my favorite.
Yeah, Cannabis, what about you?
My favorites are, I would say, transitions, because I don't know, it's super cool. Like you can like turn around toe stop, and I don't know. It's just a cool feeling. Like you can either spread your legs as far as you want to, or like just make it just looks cool, like stopping backwards. And a lot of people can't do it, and I didn't know how to do it before I started derby, so that's my favorite. One thing that I'm trying to work on is my plow stops, just like one-footed plow stops, and I don't know. I try to like work on that every time I stop. I try to make myself do that stop rather than what I can do best. So yeah.
Thing to do in practice. My favorite skill is sweeps. I feel like sweeps are kind of a thing that I do well, and it's also really good in offense, being able to just like sweep the pack away and make a hole for your jammer. How did you get started with TXRD? How did you find TXRD? Did you already know how to skate? What were tryouts like for you, etc.? So let's just start with Cola.
So I found out about roller derby. Like I got started when I was in Houston, and I kind of knew that like flat track was a thing. And then once I moved to Austin, I went to Medusa Skates and was just kind of talking like, "Hey, I just moved here, this and that." And Glitter just really like casually slipped me a flyer to like the TXRD bout that was coming up this weekend, and she was like, "You should just see like what bank track's all about. It's like real different." As far as like the aesthetics and the uniform and like the bank track's cool. And so I went and I watched one game and I was like, yep, this is what I want to do. And then got started in rec and then the rookies program.
Slay, what about you?
Yeah, so I went to a Puta's cherry bomb bout and was like, what is this magic? I need to do it. And I remember screaming that to my husband in the stands. So I just sent an email to info at, and I think they put me in touch with Lacey Bones. And then I did Academy 1 and 2, did a little rec league. Then I decided to try out, got in. I've never skated before, you know, and it was daunting because I'm also like considered an old in derby. I'm 40 years old and with kids and a family. So I felt like, you know, like with all these young, cool kids, and then there's me, this nerd into medieval stuff. So whatever, I'm going to try. I got in. It's been the most rewarding thing. I got drafted and yeah, the rest is history. It's been one of the best experiences of my life, hands down.
A bunch of big nerds. Most of us are in some way or another. But Cannabis, what about you? And then we have one more question that I really want to do. So make it
Okay. So I started roller derby, yeah, about a year ago. Okay, well, I already answered that. But I used to roller skate when I was younger. My mom used to take me to the skating rink. She really liked skating, and then when I became like a teenager, I started going to the Austin roller rink and just going there every week for teen night. And I've always been like really fast and pretty good at it, like compared to like my other friends. And I think just the start of last year, I just looked up like roller derby near me or something, and I found TXRD, and I messaged the group on Facebook, and they told me about Rec League, and I started showing up there every week, and I ended up really liking it and meeting really cool people, and it was just very encouraging and like the best thing that has happened to me so far. The only consistent thing in my life right now. Super cool.
Yeah, awesome. So we have to say goodbye to these friends right now. Sorry, I work with children, in case you didn't know. So before you go, the last question is from Brianna O'Sullivan. Pretend we have expanded our league and are adding another team. Pitch a name, color, and shtick. So Cola, give me your answer and then say goodbye, Mother.
I'll say that I'm totally stealing this idea from Lacey Bones because she mentioned it to me one time and I thought it was such an amazing team. The name of the team would be the Lone Starlets, and they would have like a Hollywood, like old school Hollywood type theme. Like colors would be gold and silver, and I just thought like a Marilyn Monroe type aesthetic. And I just thought like the name Lone Starlets, ever since I heard it, was like the coolest thing.
I love that. I might change my derby name. That's amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Cola. I think we'll see you again later. Goodbye. Slayana, what's yours?
Okay, so I'm gonna be really nerdy. You guys are forewarned. It's gonna be medieval Knievels, and the colors would be purple and gold. Purple for royalty, gold because gold in medieval times was so important. And that would be it. Just stuff like this. Shields and maidens with swords and badassery. That's what I would do. Okay, bye. See you soon.
Bye. I love that. All right, Cannabis, what about you?
Can you ask the question one more time?
Absolutely. So pretend we have expanded our league and are adding another team. Pitch a name, color, and shtick.
That's a hard question. That's a good question. I really don't know. I don't know.
In here, though, I think, correct?
What was that?
You're staying in here, correct?
Oh, I think so.
We're switching out. All right.
Okay.
We are switching out. So thank you so much to Slay and Nicola. We are going to bring Max and Beast Infection back, so we can say hello to them while we are waiting for them to get all booted up. Let's see. I'm trying to. I'll go back and answer. How did I get started with TXRD? That's what we're going to do while people are switching. I'm just going to answer questions. Like I said, I played a little bit of flat track. I wanted to keep skating, so I just looked at roller derby leagues around Austin. I grew up in Austin, so I'd moved back and heard about TXRD, and it seemed cool. I came, I tried out, I was terrible, and I had to go through, we have, if you aren't familiar with how our league structure works, we have a roller rookies training program. You go through 3 months. You learn all the basics. You basically learn from, foundations up to blocking, hitting, pack work, bout strategy, etc. And then you get into the league as a hired gun, which is the alternates like Cannabis, like Beast Infection, and then you can potentially get drafted to a team. So I went through 3 rounds of rookies and then 2 rounds as a hired gun. So it was a process, but totally worth it. All right, so it looks like we have Max and Beast back. Can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, hello, welcome back. All right, so we are jumping right in since we have already met you. First question, what does it take to be a TXRD skater? And that is from Instagram user, it's me _ Jessica92.
Who wants to go first?
I would say
Sorry, I was drinking and not moderating. Let's start with Max.
I think that you need to, more than anything, have the time and the willingness to commit to something as big as roller derby. It's a really big time commitment, and I mean, aside from a time commitment, it's a really big mental and physical commitment as well. It really tests your personal boundaries of how hard you can push yourself, especially for like I've done sports all my life and it was still really strenuous process, especially being like a rookie and being a hired gun. It was really difficult sometimes, and also just like a passion and a love for skating. And I think that's pretty much it. Not a lot.
Totally. Beast Infection, what do you think?
Energy. You're not gonna have a lot of time for like a lot of their hobbies besides roller derby, if you decide to do that. But like it's awesome because it like fulfills like two kind of needs that I have in my life, and that's like the need.
Uh-oh, Beastie, I think you froze.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay, let's go to Cannabis. Cannabis, what do you think? And then hopefully we'll get back to Beastie.
I think you need to have like a lot of determination, and I know that's hard sometimes because I have bad practices, and you can't let that discourage you because you're gonna have really good practices, and everybody is so uplifting and just there to like make you make you like just feel better about yourself, and it's just awesome. So you get like she said before, you gotta have like time commitment, and you got to really keep working on your body. You can't just like practice 1 week and then you're like, all right, I'm gonna not do anything for 2 weeks, and because then you'll just feel like crap when you go back in there. And you just have to have time, and you have to commit to it. Commit to it, and just make sure that you want to do it. Like you got to make sure you want it.
Yeah, that actually leads me into our next question from Anonymous, which is, what are you doing to keep yourself derby ready during this quarantine? So let's go ahead and start back with Max.
I'm getting a lot of calories by snacking all day, and I have a strict hydration rule of every 2 alcoholic beverages, I have 1 water. That's about it right now, to be quite honest. I haven't really gotten to that point in quarantine where I've gone and like I haven't skated yet, so I haven't been doing a great job of that, but planning on going to the Veloway one of these days. We'll see.
Veloway's a good endurance for sure. Yeah, it's somehow uphill the whole way. I don't know how it happened, but it is. All right, Beast Infection, what are you doing?
Yeah, so I feel like there are kind of like 2 different ways to kind of keep yourself fresh during quarantine. Like there's, kind of the mental aspect of derby and the physical aspect. So like, mentally I'm going back and watching old bouts. I went back and watched some like fun old like documentaries about our league recently, which were like hilarious and, a trip. So that was kind of fun to like, kind of keep myself still psyched up about the sport, and, still keeping that fresh in my mind. And then physically, just, skating. I do skate around my neighborhood quite a bit. I adopted a new puppy 3 weeks ago, so I've been taking her on some puppy skates, which has been fun. She was really afraid of my skates at first, but now I think she just thinks I'm some sort of like magical wizard that can roll around on my shoes sometimes, and she loves it, so that's been really cool. But honestly, just trying to like, even if I'm just like doing chores around the house or something like that, I'll sometimes just throw my skates on and work on little skills here and there, but just keeping up that love and that drive for skating, and hitting my hip checking my partner every once in a while helps with that too.
Definitely. All right, Cannabis, what about you?
I've just been skating around my neighborhood. There's like this little paved road just at a park, and then I cleared out some space in the garage, and so I've just been doing like little footwork and playing music and just kind of dancing and hanging out in my garage, which I feel like is more safe. I don't really have to wear pads because it's like in one small area, and I like that so far. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. I feel like
I went
all the
to
times
Illinois,
that I
like, one
think
day.
I don't need to wear pads, those are the times that I get hurt.
Exactly.
So this is kind of similar to the last one. But what advice do you have for new skaters now that proper practice is off? Let's start with Max. Sorry.
So I mean, if I was being good about trying to stay active in some sort of a routine, wearing your skates inside, even if you have like carpet or hardwood or whatever, it still works. Wear your skates around the house. Do house chores in your skates. You can also do a lot of like ankle strengthening exercises in your skates. You can do squats, or those like type of floor exercises if you need like a little bit more. Like your skates make really great weights, so that helps a lot. And then like Bish was saying, and Beast, like skating around your neighborhood and just getting outside and doing that. And floor exercises and yoga, just staying like stretched and strengthened and hydrated, I think is probably the best course of action while we're unable to skate together right now.
Awesome. Yeah. Beastie, I mean, you're a newer skater. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Max kind of nailed it there. Just trying to like get skates on as often as possible, even if it's just like 15 minutes around the house. That's still like more skating than you were doing otherwise. Think about what you were working on, before you were quarantined. I know that I had certain skills that I was trying to focus in on during practice. Like visualize yourself like doing those skills. I know that always helps me. Like if I'm working on learning how to like turn around or skate backwards, I'll just, I'll draw pictures and like, kind of sit there and like visualize what I'm doing. And that really helps me kind of nail that skill. And like, think about how you can, make drills for yourself in your neighborhood, in your garage, in your basement, if you're lucky enough to have a basement. We don't really have basements here, which is an unfortunate part of living in Texas. But if you're in a place where you have a basement, skate around there, take advantage of that. And yeah, also cross training. Yoga is always super awesome as a cross training for derby. Keep up that cardio, run, bike. Do whatever you can to keep yourself sane, keep yourself fit, and you'll be in better shape for it coming back into the season.
For sure. Cannabis, do you have anything to add to that?
Not really. I would just say just keep practicing and just get as much skate time in. Keep practicing your weaknesses. Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, we are going to answer this next one with one name only. Do not explain it. Do not say anything else. Just give us the straight answer. This is from Anonymous. Who is your derby idol? Just say the name, nothing else. Max.
It's Ninja Please, but don't tell her.
Okay. Beast Infection, what about you?
I'm going to say Witch Baby.
Ooh, good call. Good call. Cannabis, what about you?
There's so many. I love everyone, but Rolla.
Rolla.
Awesome to watch.
Rolla is somebody that I'm still terrified of. All right. Allegedly, on this sheet, I have the question, why is Macho Mandy Savage the best from Rhinestone Cowgirl Mad Mexican?
I definitely didn't ask that question, but I do want to know.
That sounds like a certain Huff Daddy. Macho Mandy Savage is the best. Cherry Bomb Macho is amazing. All right. Our last question, we're going to do it the same as we did the other one. So give me your answer, and then after you give your answer, say goodbye, log off. We super appreciate you being here. I think we will see some of you later. I have to look at the schedule because I'm not positive. No, this is your last. Some of you. You know what? I'm going to stop trying to look at this. I don't know how numbers work. All right. So answer the question, say goodbye, log off. The question is, who is your team's after party MVP? Let's start with Max.
Bikini Killer, obviously. Like, she's always the after party MVP. It doesn't matter if she's not rostered right now, but yeah, she always keeps the after party going, and I miss her a lot. BK, come back if you're watching this. All right.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye, Max. Thank you. All right, Beastie, who is the hired gun after party MVP?
That's a good question. I feel like the star is like always basically down to do anything, and they're just like a little ball of energy and a goddamn delight to be around. And also, I'm always down to hang out with them. So, I mean, if you've met them, you know what I'm talking about. So, gonna give them a shout out there.
Totally,
Right.
totally.
Bye,
All
y'all.
right. Bye, Beastie. Thank you. Cannabis, do you have another opinion on MVP of? Did I? Oh wow. Of the hired gun.
I was gonna
Sorry.
say the star.
Awesome. I can see that. The star's a freaking blast. All right. Bye, Cannabis. All right. While we are waiting for everybody else to jump on, let's see. I don't know what I'm gonna answer. I think the Hellcat MVP. Honestly, I think I am the MVP of the after party for the Hellcats. Tied with Brouhaha. There is a certain level of Brouhaha and Zelda fun that we get to, where we should absolutely be asked to leave the bar because we stay out way too late. But we are always down for a good time. So, but the Hellcats in general are super fun. So, I don't know that there's anybody in our team that isn't the after party MVP, but I'm gonna go ahead and claim that title for myself. Let's see. It looks like we have Cola coming on in. We're still working on everybody else. So my advice for new skaters now that proper practice is off is I think definitely, working on that cross training, working on that endurance, do squats, do wall sits, do sumo squats. Getting low is like the most important thing in roller derby. Don't tell Smitey Mouse I said that. I'm still pretending I've never heard that advice ever in my life, based on how I skate. But definitely work on those squats, work on those sumo squats, work on those wall sits, just whatever you can to be able to get low and stretch as well, because that really helps. I'm not smart, but those leg muscles do the thing with the, you know what I'm talking about. All right, it looks like we are getting Slayana. I see you. Hello, Slayana. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Yeah.
Yes,
awesome.
I can.
Perfect. Nicola, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome. And then I think we are waiting on Brouhaha. Is that correct?
I'm here.
Oh, I don't see you. But
Wow.
I love you. I just can't.
Wow.
I don't understand how these things work. Wow.
I see.
There's now some tension on the Hellcats. You are all watching live. The entire team just dissolve.
Just fall apart.
Just fall apart. We're done. Hellcats are done. There will never be Hellcats after this. Anyway, fun fact though, out of this chat, Nicola Virus and I have a rivalry. She started it. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Let's start with, this is sweet. What do you miss the most about TXRD while on hiatus? Let's start with Nicola.
Obviously, I miss the rhinestones and just the camaraderie and being around the team. I also kind of miss the opportunity to shout at the top of my lungs. It's just very therapeutic. If you think about it, I always just leave practice with a clear head. And now that I don't really have practice, I don't know, my brain just feels a little more scrambled more often, or just a little more anxiety than I'm used to.
Yeah, you don't have that release. I totally feel that. Slayana, what about you?
Gosh, definitely my team. I love my team. I miss hugging this league though. I love hugging my team, but seeing everyone, this dysfunctional family of ours that I love so much, I don't think I'm gonna be the awkward person hugging everyone for a long time. So that's the hard part, just not seeing this family of ours, for sure.
Totally, yeah. Bruja, what about you?
For me, it's same theme, different variation, where Hellcats were in a rebuild phase, and so being able to be with the team and see the progress, especially when we were at a practice and we were all together and able to just feel what it felt like to get something right and feel that camaraderie start and feeling that teamwork really starting to like fall into place. Like that's something that I really really miss, because we were in such a good place. We are still in such a good place during this rebuild phase. But it was really cool to be able to see that happen as we progressed. And so I really miss being able to have those aha moments with the team.
No, yeah. I feel like we were in a really good place. I feel the exact same way. Next question. What footwork exercises do you recommend to be practiced in a small space? That is from Instagram user MSOMIG6. Cola, start with you.
In a small place, the best thing you can be doing right now is burpees. I've been like doing them to the song Roxanne by the Police, and like every time they say Roxanne doing a burpee, it's like a pretty killer workout. Even just doing that like 2 times through, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. Slay, what about you?
I forget what they're called, but it's like where you cross over really fast and you kind of keep your feet nimble like that. I forget what it's called. But that's really good. And then like wall sits. I sprained my ankle like the first or second week of this pandemic, and so I can't really do a lot of like other, like, I don't know, jumping and stuff. So I've been doing everything possible, and the wall sits just really get my thighs burning in the best of ways. So those 2 things I think are my go-to.
Totally. Bruja, what about you?
I think someone already mentioned this before, but just wearing your skates at all times around the house, whenever you're doing laundry, whenever you're just kind of lounging around, just being in your skates in general gets you used to using your edges, using your toe stops, kind of trying to do things that you normally wouldn't do. Say there's a small space that you need to get through, instead of toe stopping through, challenging yourself to maybe transition through and see how small you can get. Just kind of seeing potential obstacles and then navigating around those.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. Sorry, I was scrolling looking at more questions. So what is everyone's favorite post derby meal? And that is from TXRD Roller Rookie. Hi, we love you. Justine Garcia. Let's start with Cola.
Mine is beer. Any kind. I like that I'm usually just like so tired and exhausted after a game that like I get a pretty good buzz off of just like 2 beers.
Oh yeah, no, I eat at like 3 p.m. and then don't eat again for the rest of the day until the after party. And I'm like, why did I get drunk on one Lone Star? How'd this happen? All right, Slay, what about you?
Oh God. Give me 2 burritos from Taco Bell. If they have the nacho cheese fries. Brouhaha knows this too well. That I do love my Taco Bell. So if I can get a Crunchwrap Supreme 2 with that, yeah, that's like that's it. I'm happy. I'm good.
Awesome. Bruja, what about you?
Oh, I'm a garbage dump. I'll eat anything. I try not to eat a lot of cheese before games, so afterwards, anything with cheese, pizza, loaded fries, nachos, tacos, you name it, I'm probably eating it after a game because I can, and I'm like, oh, I earned this because I burned some calories, and this checks.
I burned 3 calories tonight. I'm just kidding. We do a lot of work. No, I get that. I feel like I've like Pavloved myself into wanting P. Terry's after a bout, just because those of you watching at home, if you don't know, if you've never been to an after party, which you should absolutely go to an after party. It's a ton of fun. But P. Terry's is next to the O4 Lounge, and it's also next to Barton Springs Saloon. So P. Terry's has just sort of become my like after bout meal. That is if I remember to eat and don't drink one Lone Star and then go, I'm just going to keep drinking beer and not get food. It's fine. All right, next question. You guys are so gross. Slayana wants to know what influenced her Derby wife, Brouhaha, to be the coolest wife in all of Derby wifeys. That is from Rhinestone Cowgirl Slayana Mormont.
It helps having such a wonderful Derby wife. Like, I feel like we're real compatible, and it just makes it so much easier. You're just so easy to love, Slay.
Thanks. So are you. Beautiful human. I love you.
Is
I
you
love
guys
you
doing?
too. We're just
You guys
gonna
are
gross
Zelda.
everyone out. So.
Hey, Zelda, I think you're pretty cool.
Cola? I think you're
Cola's
pretty
really
cool too.
cute and wonderful too.
Cola, I think you're all right.
You definitely have your moments.
You know what? You are in our league, and we are league mates. So
keep doing you.
Cola, you. Right. Next question. Has Derby played a role in any other part of your life outside of the sport? What skills do you take from roller derby into your day-to-day life? So that is from Marley Hayes. Let's start with Cola.
I think I stepped into being captain the same time that I stepped into the project management role at my job, and I think that there's a lot of translation there with just being more comfortable with being uncomfortable, and being just a lot braver, I guess, to conquer problems head on or just handle things directly. And I think overall it's made me just more assertive as a person. And other than that, it's definitely helped me learn about boundaries and learn about how important it is to establish boundaries in every aspect of my life.
Totally, yeah. Slayana, what about you?
I'd have to agree with what Cola just said. I have a problem saying no, and Derby's sort of empowered me to set boundaries, even though I may not follow them all the time, which is my problem. But it's definitely helped me get so much better with that.
Also, quick interjection here. We are going to be switching out Beast and Slayana. So goodbye, Slayana. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see Beast in just 1 second. What about you?
I think for me, it's in roller derby, a big lesson is learning that when you fall down, you can get right back up and things are fine. And it kind of teaches you to not be afraid to fall, because that's part of derby. You know that you're going in and you're going to fall. And as long as you can get right back up, dust yourself off and keep going, you're still in the game. And I think that's something that I've taken into actual life, into my career, and into just uncomfortable situations, which is sometimes you just have to go in head first, knowing that you're going to fail or knowing that you're going to fall, but you can always get back up and you can always start over and just keep going.
While we're waiting for Beast Infection, I think there's so much that I've learned in roller derby. I think roller derby has just made me a lot more comfortable with myself. Trying to adjust this. Before this was an actor, I worked in princess parties, and you see a lot of people who are very thin, very conventionally attractive, and just seeing so many different beautiful people who are living in different ways made me a lot more comfortable with who I am, made me more comfortable with all sorts of things. And so I think just it's such a positive and welcoming environment. It really makes you kind of feel like, you know what, there are people that care about me, there are people that love me for who I am, and I can be whoever I want to be. Hello, Beastie, are you here?
I'm here, I'm back, hello.
Yeah! Awesome. All right, so we are going to jump into the Twitch questions. I'm so sorry, Twitch questions. We did not see you. Buffy says she's sorry. She forgot to scroll down, but that's okay. All right, this question is for Beast Infection specifically, actually. What got you into TXRD? And that is from Aaron of the Fraudcast. And really quick, before Beastie answers that question, I would like to shout out the Fraudcast. If you search TXRD Fraudcast, it is just about everywhere. It is on Spotify. It is on SoundCloud. It is on, Apple Podcast, however you listen to your podcast. It's an amazing podcast. They basically do sports coverage of our bouts, and it's a lot of fun. They're really cool guys. So make sure you listen to the Fraudcast. But anyway, Beastie, what got you into TXRD?
Cool. Yeah. So first of all, thanks for the question, Erin. That's really sweet. So I grew up in the frigid north, and they pretty much like strap ice skates onto anybody that grows up in Michigan. We all learned how to skate. So and I'm also in my 30s, so I was subject to the rollerblade vogue that was in at that point. So I did a lot of rollerblading around the neighborhood and was just always like super into skating. It came pretty naturally to me. And then kind of carried that through to adulthood. And then besides that, I've also like been really into like team sports. It's a great way to, like I was mentioning earlier, get some socialization in while also like getting super fit. So I love that there's an opportunity for me to like meld both of these passions into one at this point. I really, really enjoy the athletic aspect of it. I love skating. Like there's no feeling like it. It's like you're, like my dog says, like you're floating around like a magical witch on skates. It's really, really lovely. And the fact that I can do that while also competing against people that I love, and I'm a very competitive person, and being able to access that part of myself while I'm skating is just like freaking awesome. I'm so grateful that I can do that, and that I found this community and this sport and this passion, and it's just like a natural fit. So yeah, thanks again for the question.
Yeah, totally. And Aaron asked a couple questions. He's a sweet baby angel, but next question is from Mama Mila, and it is, did any of your names make your mama cry? Cola?
No, not really. I'm trying to think. I do, like, my parents are both pretty religious, so the kind of like sacrilegious aesthetic that the Holy Rollers had was a little weird for me sometimes. Like having people from like my church come watch me skate, or like my parents come watch me skate the first time, it was like, I don't know how you will feel about this. No one's really said anything though about it.
Fair. Beastie, what about you?
I'm not gonna lie, my mom hates my name, but I guess that's pretty understandable. But she's a trooper and she puts up with it, and I think that she's proud of me anyway. Shout out, Patty. I still love you. I'm sorry that I call myself Yeast Infection sometimes. You can still call me Kim.
Patty. All right, Bruja, what about you?
No, my mom's pretty cool with it. So is my dad. I don't think they 100% get it, maybe, but my parents are they lived with me for a very long time. They raised me. They know that I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, so they're just like, all right, well, be supportive, I guess. And that's kind of how it's been for all of roller derby. I did have my mom come up to the track once and ask who was hitting me and if she needed to beat them up, but that was, not about my name.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not necessarily names. Also, for those watching at home, if you don't know who Mama Mila is, she is the mother of Mila Djukovic, Cherry Bomb Mila Djukovic. Mama Mila is an absolute sweetheart. She's at all the bouts, or all the Cherry Bomb bouts, and we all love her. But yeah, no, my mom doesn't love me playing roller derby because I'm accident prone. My dad was a big sports guy, so he's really excited that I'm into a sport. But my dad is also Hispanic, so yeah, kind of similar to Cola's, the putas. I had a tia who was in town who was going to come to a bout. It happened to be I was a hired gun playing with the Holy Rollers against the putas, so I had to call her beforehand and be like, hey, just so you know, before you walk into the Palmer, this is the putas. Sorry, we're cute about it. So I feel that. All right, next question is from Aaron of the Fraudcast. How do teams help play up the theatricality of TXRD that the audience may not know about? Cola, let's start with you.
I'm not really sure how to answer that, like, from the rhinestone perspective. Like, I guess whenever I see two people fighting, I'd like to be part of, like, the dog pile on things, but I don't know.
Totally.
I don't have the best answer on that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Beastie, what about you?
I love the crowd work that a lot of the players do, like in between kind of jams as the refs are talking. I think that that's a pretty cool. I know that like Break and Bake is like super great, and Ghetto Star Galactica was awesome at that too. When she was in the league. I appreciate that, and I love like watching our players put their all into the penalties that they do. That's always super fun to watch, and just something that's like so unique to our league, and you can tell that the crowd is just like adores them for that. So it's obviously the bouting's really fun, and it's a sport. It's a very serious. We take it very seriously, but I love that we can also do some kind of fun things on the side. It's not just like I don't know if you've been to an NFL game before, but it's not like a commercial break where like, there's nothing going on and you kind of just have to sit there. We have a lot of stuff going on in between all the action. I think that's pretty awesome.
Totally. Yeah. Bruja, what about you?
So I feel like there's two parts to it. One, as soon as you start in roller rookies, you are taught the proper way to fall, the proper way to take someone down, the proper way to initiate fights. That being said, there's been a lot of times where I'm like, ooh, good takedown. Oh no, that's a real fight. Oh, they're really fighting. Oh, wow, wowie. So, we're all taught how to keep each other safe. We're definitely taught in terms of theatrics, how to kind of work the crowd. There's certain skaters. Break and Bake is a really great skater when it comes to working the crowd, and she is more than happy to give you tips and tricks. We've done workshops on how to do fighting, how to do kind of like cool moves. We learn how to flip over the rail properly. We practice penalties to make sure that they look good and that they are convincing when we need them to be, and how to be safe when they're very real. And then we also we're going to do some really cool stuff. We started doing improvisation workshops for the skaters. There's been talk about working on characters. So there's a lot of things going on. Some of it's up to kind of individual skaters and just the type of people they are. Some of them, there's just league facilitated ways to learn how to grow your character, grow your persona, and when you do fight in a safe manner.
Yeah, I will say that I think the thing that it comes down to ultimately is that we are all co-owners of the same business. So even if I am fighting out of anger, even if I am fighting because I'm super mad at somebody, I don't want to murder anybody. I don't want to ruin anybody's season. And I think that's kind of a lot of how that's our fight culture, more or less. And that's how it comes into it. And we do learn that. We do learn that from the time that we are tiny baby rookies. So next question. What is your dream skate setup? And that is from Brie Colai. Cola, start with you.
I bought new antics this season, and I love them. Like, my first pair of skates was from the Facebook Derby Recyclables group. I had them for like 4 years, and they were a used pair even when I got them. So by the end of last season, it was like my foot was just sliding around in them. And the antics this season have been like awesome so far. I had the option to spend like the extra money to get like custom colors, and part of me is always like, I don't know, like I was interested in doing that. I couldn't really think of like the colors that I wanted, and now it's like, it's not really worth it. But I really like the antics so far.
Colors or like match your helmet? Do you like yellow and black?
Do I want them to match my helmet?
Yeah, you could do like yellow and black. That seems kind of like your theme.
Yeah, I'm not like superstitious, but I have a weird superstition about like custom antics that I will talk about offline if you ever want to ask me about them. Like there's a reason that I didn't do it, and it's a long story if anyone wants to know later.
Actually, I'm very curious now. All right, Beastie, what about you?
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna echo that antics note that Cola was talking about. I have a nice pair of Rydell Solaris right now, and I really enjoy those. But like, I definitely get skate envy when I see like Dyer's Eve or Jose Cuervo's like new sets of like custom color antics. Like, you know, I can't like look away. So definitely think that's gonna be you know, be putting some pennies away for those for my next set of skates once I wear my current ones out.
Totally. Bruja, what about you?
Don't have a dream setup. I do currently own Antics and I love them. And since I started skating in them a few years ago, they just were magical. There were things that I couldn't do before in my old starter skates, and then when I started skating in my Antics, all of a sudden I could do a lot more things. Um, I kind of feel like it's a Cinderella situation for me where I go in, I try on a bunch of different skates, and I just know when the right ones fit really, really well.
Totally. I know I've been answering questions at the end, but for this one, I'm throwing them in there. I was skating on my starter skates. I skated on those for like, because there was a whole gap. It's a whole thing. But my starter skates were like 6 or 7 years old by the time I finally upgraded. And I lost like 2 pounds per foot. So I now have the jet carbon boots with the super light plates, or the jet carbon plates. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know. I'm not that like cool, or I don't know about skates. I like skating on harder wheels. I know that, but yeah, getting into new skates was just like, I was like, I can fly, I can jump, my feet are so light. It was magical. Anyway, next question. Who is your favorite referee? This is from Aaron. And real quick, before we answer that question, I would like to remind everybody watching that if you would like to be a referee, if you want to have an excuse to hang out with us, if you want to be around, if you want to be part of this, you can definitely email refs@txrd.com. Bonus, I'm the ref liaison, so we'll be best friends. So, Cola, let's start with you. Who's your favorite ref?
Shout out to all the refs. None of y'all have to be here helping us out, but you are reliable and you come to all of our games and you're interested in learning the rules, and it's all volunteer, and like I'd honestly appreciate anyone that's willing to dedicate their time to our league. But like as far as refs that like stand out to me, like I think it's cool that I see Ted at a lot of our practices and a lot of like the open bout practices. I think it's cool how much I see Yosemite Slam at all the after parties, and he's always like really fun to talk to. And I really like Matt, or what's like Skonic the Shredhog. Is that, sorry if I messed that up, Matt. But like I think he's cool. He always like dresses in different outfits and it's fun. Like the season opener was seniors versus freshmen, and he dressed up as like our principal and came into the center of the track with like suspenders and was like, "No, I don't want any funny business." And it's just fun that he always gets into it.
Totally. Beastie, what about you?
Yeah, so I definitely like to echo Cola's sentiment of like, you know, how grateful I am that we have, you know, referees, that they're willing to like volunteer their time, and they do like such a good job. I know y'all get a lot of crap during bouts, and you know, you get a lot of you know, harsh words from some skaters, but you know, it's just because we're all passionate about this sport, and you know, we're all here to like, you know, play some roller derby. But I'd have to say Skanik is probably my shout out for tonight. He is also one of the rec league coordinators and was like pretty instrumental to like me getting started up in derby. He trained me quite a bit, and gave me private lessons, and he's been like super involved with the league beyond just reffing. So if I had to pick somebody, that he would be the one right now.
Totally, yeah. Bruja, what about you?
I don't want to pick. I don't know. I love all our refs. Like, I appreciate all the time that they put in. Cool fact: there's a lot of ex-Derby players who are now referees, which is really great. They understand the rules because they've played those rules. So it's great seeing a lot of those retired skaters coming back. I gotta, I really appreciate Smitey Mouse. She's been really instrumental in helping out the Hellcats and also volunteers her time to ref, which is really great. Lacey Bones, another retired skater who comes back, Rocky, Casbah. There's quite a few. I do really love me some Sonic the Shred Hog, though. He is extra, and it is amazing. Ted is really great too. Ted volunteers more than just reffing. He's always around to help us do build or tear down when we need him. Uncle Slam, always at after parties, hanging out with us. Just like really cool. So all of the refs are great for different reasons, and we just appreciate all of the time that they spend volunteering with us.
Yeah, for sure. I would echo all of that. All of the refs are great. I completely adore them. They're amazing to work with, and it's a tough job being a ref, especially in a league like ours where we are allowed to throw temper tantrums, we are allowed to shout and yell at the refs. I love how Uncle Slam, after every bout, he's like, if nobody yelled at me, I didn't do my job right. They're a fun group of people. I adore them for being around. They're amazing.
I think I called him Yosemite Slam on accident. My bad. Uncle Slam.
I like it. Maybe he should change his name. Aldo Monterey says, yes, I have just one question, and it is, Audrey is super badass. So, hi. Hello.
That's not really on there for anyone else.
That's actually, that is on there. So some people actually like me, Nicola. I don't know if you knew about that. Lots of people like me. I'm very popular.
I like you.
All right. What team is your favorite to skate against, and why? And for Beast, what is your favorite part of being a gun? That is from Marley Hayes. So let's start with Cola.
So weird fact about like my derby career, just from like the time I was a gun, I've come in and out of retirement 2 or 3 times now, and I've been on injured leave in the past. So I've skated against the Cherry Bombs like 9 times, and I've skated against every other team probably like twice in like my 5 seasons. And so it works out because like the Cherry Bombs are definitely my favorite team to skate against, but it's just like funny that that's how it's worked out in my derby career.
Yeah, totally. Beastie. So then Beastie, what is your favorite part of being a gun?
Yeah, so I think the obvious answer here is just being able to, for those who don't know, as a hired gun, you can pretty much attend any practice that you like throughout the season, whether it's closed or not to the rest of the league. So I love that I get the opportunity to skate with so many different people and, pick up on so many different techniques and, learn from all of the more experienced veteran skaters out there. It's a little bit stressful because, there's a lot of practices that you can attend throughout the week, but I am a master of the Google Calendar and would recommend anybody that joins roller derby takes on that skill. But, I try to make it work, and I try to attend as many practices as I can and, soak up as much knowledge as I can while I still have the opportunity to do that.
Totally, yeah. So Bruja, then what team is your favorite to skate against and why?
Okay, so I know this sounds like a cop-out. I really do love playing against all of the teams. I feel like shenanigans-wise, Holy Rollers and Cherry Bombs are the ones that we get the most into shenanigans with, and that's always a really good time. It's really great for the crowd. It's really great for us in the center, especially if things start getting tense. Like we just, maybe start a brawl in the middle or, do something fun. So I would say Holy Rollers and Cherry Bombs definitely like top two. But I mean, we've always had a really good time against the Rhinestones. I'm really sad that we couldn't be playing y'all today. And then Buta's also usually pretty game for shenanigans as well. So it's a good time all around.
For sure, for sure. I like skating against the Holy Rollers just because they're our sibling team. And we drink special drink. I'm gonna say it wrong. Purple drink. I'm not cool. Afterwards. But yeah, I agree with you, Bruja. I think every team is fun to skate against. And also, I think just skating against other teams, especially since we're such a rookie team, you learn things from every bout. You know, you see how like this team is really good at pack work, this team is really good at offense, this team is, you know, has a lot of really strong jammers. And it's just really awesome. I love our league. All right, next question. I want to know, is there any blocker that everyone doesn't want to face off on any of the teams? Cola, let's start.
Okay, so for the Holy Rollers, it's scary facing or skating against Dyers and Break and Bake. For the Cherry Bombs, I would say Zara scares me the most. For the Putas, Boss is like, I think she's a pretty good blocker, so she kind of scares me when she's in the pack. And it's also like, I always think that she's in there to do like a panty pass, so I'm like extra alert of her. And then for the Hellcats, I'd say definitely Zelda and Brouhaha.
Stop it.
Yes.
Stop. All right, Beastie, what about you?
I would definitely have to say Rolla. When she gets that like fiery look in her eyes, when she's like on a mission, she will flatten you, and it's terrifying. And I am terrified of her, and I'm slowly getting over that because she's a lovely, lovely person. But yeah, she's scary.
No, I feel like there are people that you see when you're like a noob or when you're like not even in the league yet. You know, and then you like get into the league and you get to know people and you're kind of like, okay, these are their strengths, these are their weaknesses. Like, I'm not that scared of this person. But Rolla is someone that I've stayed consistently the same amount of scared of since I was a baby child noob. Bruja, what about you?
Oh boy. Let's see. For the bombs, I feel like Zara's like the obvious choice because she real scary. But
Yeah.
Ninja and Scrappy are the sleepers because you're like, oh, they're kind of small. Like, I can get around, and then they're in your business and they're ruining your life, and it's not fun. Oh, Mila too, especially when she runs after you and she's screaming, and it's never fun. And it's a little bit fun, but yeah, never. It's a love hate. On the rollers, Dyers has ended my life quite a few times. Break and Bake is the worst when she is in the back waiting for you, takes your speed, and then just never lets you go. And you're just stuck there and you live with her in the back of the pack. And it's not a good time. For the Butas, Bad Habit. She gets the most intimidating look in her eyes, and it is terrifying and scary, and I don't like it. It's a little bit sexy, but it's real scary too. Who else? For the rhinestones, Cola. Please, no. Please don't hit me. Also, Slamders comes out of nowhere, super fast. Got them little bones that get all up in your business, and it doesn't feel good. I think that's all the teams. On our team, it's pretty much everyone. Hammer, no thank you. Ice Bang Me, no thank you. Zelda hits Gerald, also, please don't hit me. So many of our teammates, I'm like, ow, I'm really glad we're on the same team because this sucks.
When I see jams, I'm like, no, I don't like it.
No.
I'm scared.
Please no. Just that like, please drop. Oh God, please.
No, totally. I think Buffy's gonna yell at us to wrap it up, but I want to talk about the teams that I'm scared of. I'm opening my messages just in case Buffy yells at us to be like, "Are you done yet?" But no, I totally on the Holy Rollers boy division always gets me. She will just like swoop in the back of the pack. She's just on me the whole time. I'm like, I can't get around. Yeah, there's on the putas, I would say the thing about the putas, Loretta, she was facing backwards, so I was like, oh, I'm totally just gonna like throw an elbow into her chest stomach area. I'm gonna get her. So I came at her and I throw an elbow and she does this sweet like squiggle olive oil and I face planted to the ground. So props to Loretta for that one. Rhinestones have a bunch of amazing blockers. Cola is, don't tell Nicola virus, but like she's a really good blocker, and like I kind of, like every time I'm like she's gonna kick my ass, but don't tell her that. But yeah, Dom Draper has been fucking killing it as a jammer and a blocker. Anyway, this has turned into just a love fest of other people that we like. I love our league. Okay, so that was our last question. So thank you so much, everybody who joined us tonight. We love you. We are so glad to at least have something that we can interact with you. We miss you. We love you. We cannot wait to be back, to be bouting. Hopefully there will be a lot of more fun content from our social medias. So don't forget to follow us. We have Texas Roller Derby on Facebook, on Instagram. We have a TikTok now. And again, we have a GoFundMe if you would like to contribute to us. If you are interested in joining or volunteering once we're back up, please email recruitment@txrd.com. Even if you're not a skater, you can ref, you can be an NSO. There are so many awesome ways to get involved with this league. That's about it. So, good night, Austin, Texas, wherever you are.